Hello, welcome back. As we left off, we were talking about the political machine. We're going to go into part two. Uh, Political machine is basically the idea of using politics in order to help a kind of like a business or its own little system of government that is not really government funded, and it goes outside of government hands in a lot of ways and has its own kind of control. So, political machine can be pictured like a pyramid. On the base, you have the captains and workers who gain support of the different blocks and neighborhoods. So they have their own regions to make sure that people are voting for their officials of their political party. The ward boss, which would secure voters and help the poor in services, they were the ones that would see to the different wards in the city and see the needs of them. The poor and those who are struggling, find the problems and then fix them or find solutions for them with the money that they had. And then the city boss controlled the entire political party in the city as well, in that way, if their political party was the dominant one. Political bosses were unofficial mayors. Sometimes they were actually mayors, but even if they weren't elected as mayor, they were basically still the mayor, whether the real mayor elected or not. They were controlling government jobs, businesses, licenses, and influenced the courts. So they would hand out, if you want to get a permit for a building, you have to go through them. If you wanted a job in the government, you go through them. And so they would give their jobs to people in their political party or those who helped with them. And they even had influence into the justice system as well. So some built parks, sewer systems, and waterworks, and others funded schools, hospitals, and orphanages. So there is a lot of good things with it. They're really the ones making a lot of headway in the reforms. However, there is also a lot of negativity in it as well, um, because it is so easily corruptible. Because there's nothing stopping them from doing bad things other than they would get less influence from the people around them. Political, they would provide government support to businesses in exchange for money. So we see this money moving around in not really a very legal way. Not everything was about money, however. By helping to deal with city issues, bosses would secure loyalty and support to extend their influence. So it's not just about gaining money from businesses, like you help them cut a few corners and they'll give you some money. It's also about uh, having support and loyalty to everyone around them. Because even if you don't have money, you still have a vote, and that vote counts just as much as a rich person's vote. So the more votes you get, the better. And we see this in immigrants within the machine who were notoriously not wealthy since they just came from outside the country and were in a very difficult landscape business wise. Many immigrants actually were the ones that became captains and bosses, first or second generation citizens. So coming over to the United States or the generation after that as well, they could speak to immigrant families and understood their hardships because they went through the same hardships and they also know the same language. Bosses would give immigrants citizenship in exchange for their vote. So you allow these recent immigrants to gain U.S. citizenship, and then they will use that citizenship in order to vote for you. So, and that's where we see the help that is uh, not really having a lot of money involved, but still a lot of political power involved. Um, enough Not enough influence led to bosses, and that led to seeking fraud to win elections. A graft is illegal political influence for personal gain, which helped citizens in exchange for illegal money and granted businesses favors for cash. So we see this new idea of people using their political control in order to uh, really negatively affect the situation because now that they have the control, they cannot lose it, and so they will cheat their way into gaining fraudulent elections as well.